Hi, Gemini. This is Lee at Fresh Astrology, and I'm joined today by my colleagues from Camille, Mimi,
Hello,
Carolyn, and they're here to help talk about how to implement the astrology. How do you take what you learn about astrology and do something with it, so that you're not feeling like a victim or things are just happening to you or like you just have to wait for things. We're going to talk about how you take charge and drive your own life, get that steering wheel in your hands and drive. And so the astrology, let's go over the astrology for the month. Is anybody here? I don't think, you might be a Gemini moon.
Oh, okay, good.
They don't know astrology. They don't know.
Coaching. We know tools.
They know coaching. They know coaching. They know a lot of coaching. And so that's their expertise. So anyway, I do think you're a Gemini moon.
Oh, okay.
So let's see if this resonates for
extra
you.
attention.
Yeah. Okay. So here we go. So the way I've been describing this to people is that there's kind of a fluctuation of intensity throughout the year with this Pluto-Saturn thing that's going on, and eventually a Jupiter-Saturn, Jupiter-Pluto, then Jupiter-Saturn. So we were kind of at a high in January, and then in February there's a little dip. It doesn't mean it's not intense or the intensity totally goes away. It means there's just a little release. And then in March, it goes back up again. So during this little dip, there's also a Mercury retrograde, which is kind of perfect because if you've been going really fast and pushing ahead in January, February is a great time to, hey, is it Chastity?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Hi.
Hello.
How are you? So it's a great time to rethink, research, rewrite, rewire your brain, shift your mindset, working on yourself, working on your messaging. And the area, oops, sorry guys, let me just get rid of this. The area for Geminis where this happens is right up, smack on your midheaven. So it's a big time in your career, and this has been a theme for you on both counts because Mimi's in Aries also. And so it's all about career. It's about your marketing, publishing efforts, possibly for some of you a new job or thinking about a new job. You might be interviewing, maybe you're interviewing like if you need to hire somebody, or maybe you're interviewing for a job. My best advice is, and you guys know this if you pay attention to astrology, is under a Mercury retrograde, it's a great time to interview. It's a great time to send out resumes, and these days you do it all online. We used to do it in the mail, envelopes, the old-fashioned way. But just send out as many resumes as possible. It's a numbers game at some point when you're looking for a job. I blast, whenever I've looked for a job, I blast the number. It's 300 resumes, 400. I go with the numbers game, and it always works for me.
Yeah.
And
so is Mercury retrograde across all signs?
Yes. Well, it impacts all signs because it's happening up in the sky in real time, but it's hitting a different part of the chart.
Okay.
So for the Gemini, it's on the midheaven, which is your most public self. It's a great time to speak publicly. It's a great time to get your messaging out. So you're in charge of all our marketing in February. You're going to write all our content, and you're going to get on and do all the videos. Okay. Because you'll be the most impactful. Yeah. So back to this. So the way I look at what's happening this month is there's this happens occasionally in astrology where I'm really looking at, we're crossing a threshold. There's a kind of doorway we're walking through. For you, it really has to do with this midheaven doorway and kind of going into a new world with your career or your public self.
Yeah.
So maybe Mimi will have a whole new look in February. Maybe. She doesn't need to change her look.
So Chastity was just saying she's all about career and investments.
So investments. Yeah, that's the Capricorn. So the Capricorn part of your chart is in, for a Gemini, is the 8th house. And with Pluto, Saturn, Jupiter there, it's a great time to invest money. whether it's in real estate or stock or whatever. It's a great time to invest your money and to be really paying attention to your money. Paying attention to your money is very useful in and of itself, because we do some coaching around money. So yes, investments, great. And that's in play all the rest of the year too. And some could really pay off with this Jupiter thing here. I encourage you to do it wisely. Saturn's in your 8th house right now. And beware of crooks, Pluto. So you want to make sure you research Saturn, and also this month, Mercury retrograde, your sources, and make sure you're following reliable people, listening to good advice, but also making up your own mind. Don't be a follower in terms of investment. You want to read everything, be well read in the topic, talk to people, but you want to use your own mind. You want to think for yourself here. But the doorway that everyone's going through as a Gemini is really, you're going from a place of preparing to game on. Are you game on in February? And if you're not, how can we get you there?
My energy was kind of down in February. Like, I thought you had said this was going to be sort of a researching kind of lower key, which that's my jam.
Well, it could be game on and researching and reviewing.
Then I'm game on for that.
Yeah. And also, like, if it's game on looking for a job, you're not looking for a job, but yeah.
No, I'm looking for a house.
Yeah. Oh, you're looking for it. Yeah. Mimi's just got the real estate goals going on. So in terms of coaching tools, if they've got issues around money for sure, because we've got this heavy concentration in Capricorn that's with them all year. Then in February in particular, we've got this threshold across their midheaven where new things are starting in career, and there's this heavy Mercury retrograde. They're definitely taking into account, thinking about their career, what direction, how do I want to reinvent or retool or restate myself. It's a lot of, I can see a lot of marketing.
Purpose. Purpose tools.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
And maybe money, purpose and
money mindset.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But that's one of the things I've learned about money and through my life and my career, that it really, there's so much more in how you think about money and how you feel about money to being successful with money.
Mm-hmm.
That just some of the exercises that we've done with people, and that people that didn't believe they could get money couldn't get.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not aware. That's the tricky part. Is it's a unconscious belief. So we're not aware that we're repelling money, or that we've worked with. I know we're all thinking of the same workshop where we worked with this very lovely person who just really could not imagine having money, no matter how
sad.
So we really had to bust through that belief system and give her tools to really reframe how, because if you really, really, really in your core believe you can't have money, then money will not find its way to you, or if it does, it'll leave.
Mm-hmm.
So we do a lot of work around
the cool thing about this one works, I know we're all thinking about this, because there's one person who was really, we were like, man, she's really stuck. But we just threw everything we had at it and got her there. And she's now really successful. Like she's doing really well. It's like night and day. It's crazy.
Yeah.
The difference.
It's crazy. Well, when Lee first started working with me, I had a business that was going, and it was paying the bills and stuff. And then just when we started talking about the mindset around money and how open I was to getting money, like that next year, my gross net doubled, and then the year after that it doubled again. So that just kind of was the beginning of
income off the charts, because she was already doing well.
Yeah. Well, that was subsisting. So but now it really changed.
Yeah. And as a single parent, like she was already, I know it felt like subsistence, but she was supporting 2 girls, and they were, she was giving everything she could to those girls.
So it sounds like we're recommending the Money Shift bullet journal, which is our free tool, and also perhaps the course.
I think if somebody out there, if there are a Gemini out there who's really, this is about rethinking what your actual career is and rethinking how you want to live your life in conjunction with your career, then I think get the link to our free webinar. Yeah.
Tessie says instead of spending, she likes to circulate her money.
Yeah. Good.
I'm a consumer, so I know exactly what I'm a big circulator.
Yeah. And hi, is it Lucia or Lucy? Lucy. Hi. Hi. And then what's the other name under Lucy?
Kitam.
Oh, hi, Kitam. Yes. Wonderful. Well, thank you for being here. Is there anything else we want to say? For the astrology, it's really midheaven time. It's all about the midheaven. So,
and if you need free tools, I'm not sure we talked about that, but there's free tools on our website, 7-day bullet journals for purpose and for money.
The money one was fun. Like the first day, it's like you start to, it's all about the feelings about your money and how you would.
Mimi uses these tools all the time.
I do.
Yeah.
I love it. It's like, you know, is money
Good,
like a monster in your world and stuff. So it's, that's my favorite.
Yeah. Tool. Yeah.
And
they're
it changes
fun.
a lot.
And remember to have fun with these things. These are meant, what our goal here is to get you out of your worry mind, out of the hamster wheel that goes on, like thinking about it, trying to make a decision. You've got to short circuit that and get into another brain space that's more powerful and has better vision, better idea generation. And so this playful approach, these exercises get you in a better brain space to actually make a good decision.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay. So Angie, I'm so glad you put this. She says she's the 28th, the Jim and I. And I kept thinking, oh, maybe that's her business. I didn't understand. But she came down and said, no, Jim and I, which I should have, if I had said Jim and I out loud, I might have gotten it. But Jim and
They're so new to astrology. All right, guys.
So
we're sitting here for the afternoon. We're just going to hunker down. We're going straight to Cancer. So if you've got other signs, just hang in. We're going to get to you soon.
She said she's the one that's been making the vision boards out of lottery tickets, which ties a lot into money and elaborates ones when I do that I'm not thinking about anything negative. She's just lost in creativity. I love it. That's why I love these like prompted bullet journals, because I'm always looking for an excuse to get out my colored pencils.
And she is, literally. Okay. Bye, guys. We'll see you in Cancer. All right. Bye.